Look, Mom, I grew on my own roots.
Exactly.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
In the last episode, Nathan from WhiskerandSpine and the Lower East Side Cactus and Succulent Society took us through grafting a cactus. But in this episode, he'll be covering how to de-graft a cactus.
So in terms of where I'm going to cut, so I'm going to go for the bigger one. And to be honest, I noticed that there's like this corking at the base, which I figured this just happened like over time. What I might do is try to just make the cut like very close to the boundary of that.
Right, so it'd already kind of be dry.
Yeah, well, hopefully we can see what that looks like.
Yeah, is corking like where it's not going to get any roots here? Do you need to have some of that freshness in order to be able to develop roots?
Well, the interesting thing is you can actually see that it tried.
Yeah, look at that.
It tried growing out like a root.
It kind of wanted to root. It kind of wanted to be degrafted, I feel.
Maybe. It was like, you know what? I can do it on my own.
Yeah.
In this case, it's also just like an aesthetic choice. I can show you examples of own root plants that also developed out at the bottom. I really don't think it's harmful, but in this case, this is another multi-scion thing, so this is a different plant actually. So in order to fit the knife or get the cut like maybe a little bit easier, I won't go like right at the base to like avoid maybe like nicking this guy or...
Let me ask you kind of a crazy question, and maybe it's never been tried. If you cut, like let's say up here,
yes,
can you graft on a graft on a graft?
I mean...
Make it like a totem cacti?
I mean, you could, but I guess since like the... You know, and I think actually we had someone at the New York Cactus and Succulent Society give a talk on like cactus chimeras and people who have done this kind of thing, like, oh, graft one species and then another species. I don't know what advantage you would get out of it.
It would just be a freak show.
It would be like, because I can.
Cacti Jenga.
Right, and the thing is that sometimes with these grafts, like you will get like, right, what this guy was talking about, like chimerism, where let's say the growth form of this is still, for the most part, like I can tell like, okay, maybe it's like a little bit more columnar than I want, but like I can tell this is the myriostigma form that I was interested in. But when the fusion of the two goes like a little too far, you actually do end up with like very weird things happening where it seems like the plants are actually more fused and it's not just like I'm borrowing your energy from this like distribution system. Let's see what we can do here. So I'm going through.
Yeah, because I think you're hitting some of the corking
the
on
wooding,
this side.
the wooding tissue. Okay. Okay, let's see.
Now, what causes corking?
Honestly, I don't know 100%. I would say it could be just like in the wild, there can be like exposure to maybe some pathogens, maybe animals. It could be like a stress response. It does tend to, like, I guess on these Astrophytum, I've seen a lot where it happens like closer to the roots. So that's probably like the older parts of the plant.
Yeah,
So, when I see older cacti, corking seems normal, and it seems like almost like as if it were the trunk.
Yes. So the growth form, with the columnars that often get that candelabra structure, it's like the base really just looks like a tree. So it could be like the precursor to that tissue becoming like really woody or lignified or whatever the correct term is. So here you can actually see like the vascular bundle is like really kind of like highlighted. But what we would actually do in this case is we think, this might contain like some tissue from the stalk. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this and actually like scoop out a bit of this. So I'll show you what that kind of looks like.
It must be easier to work with an Astrophytum versus a very prickly cacti.
Yes, that's like another reason. So basically I'm like kind of making this this incision. Oops, I've gone a bit too far. This is like also why it's like slightly easier to work with. Myriostigmas have some depth, whereas the Asterias, you don't have a lot of area to work with.
Fascinating.
So honestly, this looks like fairly clean.
Yeah, it does.
I would think it's okay. So basically what I would do is I would set this guy aside and just let it dry, and then see if I begin to see roots growing out of
How quickly
this.
can you see roots?
There are these rooting hormones that people use to accelerate the process. I can show you an example, which I'll show you like a degraft. This was degrafted maybe like a month ago. It feels actually pretty good. I did notice roots like growing out of it 3 weeks after. I do have some pictures that I can send if you really want to see the process, or I might make a reel on Instagram later for this, just once I confirm that it doesn't like kick the bucket. You know, this guy seemed like a pretty solid grower, and like I said, I think the myriostigmas are like a little easier to handle than the Asterias.
Now, are you feeling for like firmness or?
Right, so like, you know, just is there like a lot of give? Like, I mean, I honestly at this point, I would be surprised if the roots had like really made their way down there, but as long as like it's not super loose, and also I'm also feeling the firmness of the plant itself, because with the cacti, early signs of like rot is like this kind of like squishiness of the tissue versus just like looking dehydrated, basically.
I see, yeah. And then also, would you, because the roots are kind of only a little bit established, you said you saw some roots growing off of it, do you water it in? Do you try to keep it under a bubble? How do you want to try to?
So maybe in that particular case, if you're trying to root the plant, like giving it a little bit of humidity helps. As I mentioned, our soil mix is like a lot of it is just the potting soil, which does seem to be like a little bit moist, you know, compared to like, let's say, doing a pure mineral like granite and other stuff. So I felt that after I potted it, I waited about a week, maybe 5 days, and then I gave it water. The other thing that I do with the degraft is I really made sure to put some like rocks at the bottom so that the actual volume of soil here is not that much.
I see, okay.
So the top dressing is this akadama, the Japanese like volcanic rock, which is known to help with root growth. So I'm hopefully using that layer to like induce the roots to grow, and then it'll attach to the soil, but you know, hopefully because like the actual volume is low, we won't have problems regulating the moisture. We won't run into the risk of like, oh, the roots are growing into this waterlogged thing. They're young and they're not ready to like really take up like a lot of water.
Totally.
So I did that for this one, whereas if I repotted something else, like I didn't put the stones at the bottom, like these two are actually like own root plants that were just, they were in these pots, they were getting like a little too big, and it's like moved into the 3 inches for the first time. So these are like much younger, and then moving up to, you know, bigger sizes, but then also like where you get with grafting. Actually, the corking thing. So, although this might actually be like almost, it's like, is it rust or is it corking? There's like some corking at the bottom of this one, but as long as I see like the top is healthy, I kind of just let it go. And then this one, you can also kind of see down here that brown kind of color.
And now, is that really considered a blemish, so to speak? Would people like stray away from corking if they saw a specimen?
I feel like honestly that maybe people's opinions are mixed. Like there may be some people that think, oh, well, is that an indicator that something's wrong? I mean, personally, having gone on habitat trips to see cactus, like you can really see how beat up these plants
they
look.
They have a rough life.
But it's just like a testament to like the fact that they can survive.
Right.
I would say like, you know, with the ones in this clad. So this is what we talked about, like the yellow flower clad, either myriostigma or natum. You can see like more evidence of this corking at the base of like several of them, but personally, these plants can get just like so much bigger than they are right now. So I'm like kind of like just wait and see. The features are developing on some of these. So personally, I'm like, it's healthy. Like if there's some corking at the base, so be it.
Well, thank you so much, Nathan. I really appreciate
You're very
your
welcome.
insights.
Thank you for coming, and I hope people are inspired to try out some of their own grafting experiments, or if you're interested in learning more about cacti, definitely follow the NYC Succulent Instagram account. That's like our society.
Yeah, absolutely. And it just shows that you could do this in a New York apartment. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
We'll have some more interesting plant tours and tips around the bend, so be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notifications button if you dig this channel. And take a look at our website, homesteadbrooklyn.com, for our online courses from Houseplant Basics to the Houseplant Masterclass. And don't forget we run a sister channel called Flock Finger Lakes, which highlights topics like regenerative farming, gardening for wildlife, and the lost arts. So check that channel out if that interests you. We'll see you in the next episode.